Hey Cancer, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. We take what works and we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this one, go check your other major placements. Or any placement that you resonate with, that makes sense to you, that you're proud of, that you feel like, oh yes, I have my... Yeah, anyway, so let's see. We're going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments deck. We're back here for the week. And then we're going to move on to a traditional tarot spread with the Santa Muerte Tarot deck. And then we'll end it with a wild Kuan Yin Oracle card. All right, Cancer. What have we got for you this week? Oh, gosh, no. Okay. Oh. All right, you've got the observer here. You're watching something very closely, or something is watching you. And watching something very closely, very intently, with a lot of commitment. You're learning a lot from watching this. And you're very committed to it. It could be through social media. You know, we do have the camera right here. So it is being very focused, being very still and focused. You might be getting a little distracted, but that's okay, because that toggling between that focus and the distracted things is going to bring in some new ideas for you. There's something about your intuition here that's causing you to want to watch something. You don't know, you might not even know why, but you're sort of starting to understand that, that there's something there for you. There's like a message there for you, or something there for you. So we have an observer here. I think it's you. Typically, that's how I feel about this card. It's you. You're watching something very closely. And it's caught your eye, and you may not even understand why. But you're just going with it. You're just going to go with it. And then we have touch the sky. You're sort of in two worlds here, dreaming about something, wondering how to bring something into reality. You might be fishing a little bit for, like, you know, just putting in your, I want to say oar in the water, but what I really mean is hook. Putting your little worm on the hook down here. Here's what did I show it to you already? Yeah. Looking for, you know, here you're holding back, but you want to go forward and you want to communicate and you want to find some friends, maybe your tribe, finding your people, finding somebody that gets you. But you're in two worlds. You're definitely holding back here. And it's almost like that introvert, extrovert, ambivert thing going on here, where you want to stay, you do and you don't. You're wondering what would happen if you reached out to somebody, or if somebody, you know, what would happen if you actually caught a fish here. There's a lot of dreaming here. All you're doing is like daydreaming, basically. Right? Between these two cards, the observer, you're like watching TV or Netflix or your social media, and you're like, what if I said something on social media? What if I commented? That's almost the vibe I'm getting. But look at how, like, there's a sense of sort of isolation, of dreaming, of watching, daydreaming. Daydreaming is wonderful. I would probably spend all day daydreaming if there weren't bills to pay. Just curl up. My son, he's a Cancer, and he used to do that when he was little. Just curl up in a ball on the floor, and I'd be like, what you doing? I'd be like, shh, I'm thinking. It's very cute. That's what you're doing this week. You're crawling you're in your shell. You're a hermit crab this week. You're thinking about not being a hermit crab. All right. Oh, what am I doing? I'm so spacey on this read. Overall energies popping out here. We have Pentacles, a new beginning. I feel like this is the seed being planted. So maybe part of what you're daydreaming about is like a new beginning, something new coming into your life. Or starting a new project, starting a new job, starting a new profession, a new degree program, something like that. There's like I feel like this Ace of Pentacles is coming in as the birth of a dream, an idea that might have to do with how you spend your time. I mean, and how you spend your money or how you make your money or something like that. That's the beginning of some sort of, the seeds being planted. So make sure you're dreaming here. Because I think these dreams are going to be, you're going to be finding something, and you're going to have a push-pull about, do I want to move forward with that or do I not? I don't think you're quite ready to, but it's not even supposed to. It's like the dreaming, like this is the idea getting planted into the real world. So first, there has to be the dream. There has to be the planting. We have to plant the seed before we can grow the flowers, right? That's just life. And then we have the world, we have things changing, a major cycle change for you, or maybe just aspects of your life changing, pretty big aspects, the world around you changing. Again, this is a card of, I believe, submission, allowing the world to change in the way that it needs to, in the way that it wants to. The world is always changing. So there is big change, big cycle change. It's time. It's just, it's like the seasons are changing. Maybe the seasons of your life are changing. And it's so funny because we always view those, or I think a lot of people probably do, of like, oh, I've had this epiphany. I think I do want kids, or I do want to get married someday, or I do want, and it's like, it just kind of, it's almost biological, these cycle changes, and they're just going to happen whether we're thinking them through and really figuring things out or not. They're just going to happen. Oh my God, I love this. You also have the Ace of Wands here as an overall energy for the reading. A new beginning, and the world is also a new cycle. So this is just like the daydreaming part. I mean, Ace of Wands, this is intuition, which we've already talked about with the Observer card. We've got some sort of intuition coming in here. We've got some sort of... sorry, those are my pens there. We've got some sort of intuition being planted here. Both of these, this Pentacles and this Wands, have the planting. And I want to talk about the Wands, this Ace of Wands here. I don't usually do a reading like this with these cards as part of the overall intuitive bit, but they came out because I was spacey, and that's all part of this thing here, right? But the moon, this idea is coming up suddenly overnight. There's some magic to it. And it's all it's got is the moonlight, right? And the reason why the moon is our intuition is because it's reflecting the sun. It's like a mirror for the sun, and we can just see the sun, the reality, the thing that has the clarity, that has the brightness, that we can see very clearly, that makes everything here grow and causes life to exist on the planet at all. So we see that reflected in the sun. The moon is a mirror of the sun. I mean, yeah, we see the sun reflected in the moon. The moon is the mirror of the sun. So that's why it represents intuition. It's ourselves seeing, sensing this real thing that's over here, that's coming towards us, that's going to be coming up, that's going to be coming into our lives, that rises, that comes in to our lives. Well, we're going to rotate towards it. Oh, yeah, so I see the world, this rotation here. We're going to be rotating towards that sun, and in case we forgot or in case we didn't know, the moon's here to remind us that that sun's going to be coming into view again soon. Like, we're going to have that clarity again soon. So the moon really, represents intuition because it's reflecting the sun. And so we can see the sun, we can see, where we're at in the cycles and stuff like that, all through the moon. So this, through the moon, in which phases the moon is in, we can, that's time. That's another aspect of time and understanding where we're at in the universe. So this world card is reminding me that the world is going to rotate and shift, and that sun is going to come into view. Right now we're looking at the moon, but we're getting such a strong hit off this moon that we're just going to grow with it anyway. We're going to start growing now. We're going to start dreaming, building something now, even before we can see the sun, even before the sun rises. I mean, I don't know if you can tell here through the coloring, but it's just moonlight here. That's all this plant has. This plant is sprouting and growing. along with these mushrooms. And so they're trying to convey with this mushroom-like vibe. Like, you can grow in the night because this intuition is so strong that you know that sun is going to come. So you're blooming, hatching, growing in the night. So we have a seed, we have some beginning growth here. We have intuition about something that's going to be happening in reality. And we're dreaming about it. We're preparing for it. We understand that our world is going to change, our world is going to rotate, and yet again, you know, that sun is going to be there, that clarity is going to be there to bring us, to help us grow, to meet us halfway. You know, we're the seed that's sprouted in the dark here, but the sun's going to meet us. It's coming. So I love that world card there. It is coming, but right now you're in dreaming, seed planting mode. Yeah, having ideas. You're thinking about things. It's just, I love that we have this Ace of Wands and Ace of Pentacles that came out here together. Okay, and I'm not going to do that again. Let's do a regular spread, Cancer. Okay, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, your possible outcome. Okay. In your recent past, you have the Star card. You may have felt like a star. You may have been a star. You may have gotten a lot of positive attention or feedback. This is also feeling in the flow. The Star card is our cheerleader of the deck. She even looks like a cheerleader here with her little skirt on. But she's in the flow, and this is the go, go, go. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. So you've had some success in the past. You had a dream in the past that you were able to bring to fruition, that you were able to bring to the world. You really enjoyed it. You loved it, and you got so much positive feedback, and you experienced this moment of being in the flow, being exactly where you were meant to be, and you felt it. You felt it so strongly. This, I am exactly where I'm meant to be. So she's the cheerleader. She comes in to say, yes, yes, you're going towards the right basket. Yes, and you're doing a good job. You're going to make a basket. And then she can like help the crowd, cheer you on, and all sorts. There was a lot of growth there. There was a lot of, you just had this wonderful, beautiful time of being in the flow of something, and maybe even having some I don't want to say notoriety, that's the wrong word, but some attention, some it's the Star card. You may have felt like a star, or if you didn't feel like a star, you felt at least like you were in the flow and you were accomplishing things, and you and the universe felt like you were working together, and you were making steps, and the universe was meeting you and helping you along, and you were getting the help that you needed. And there's just some cheerleaders had come along, possibly. And then you have in your current situation, you have the Knight of Cups. So this would be, so the Knights bring in some bravery or recklessness. It always depends on the outcome, whether we're going to retroactively call that bravery or retroactively call that recklessness. I also think bravery has to do with the greater good, and recklessness kind of can tend to be more about personal impulsive. But these Knights can be a little impulsive and a little bit reckless or brave, however you want to see it. This Knight typically has to do with love, has to do with emotions, but in this card, the Knight is not really, the Knight's looking back. The Knights, the horses represent your instinct, your intuition, and your intuition is again crossing a threshold, crossing a new threshold, going through this archway, right? So something new starting here. We've got now 4 cards of something new starting, just in the idea stages though. I mean, but you know what? You can always look back on the Star card at this time. So if you're starting something new, one of the lessons you learned here is that you can make things manifest. You have in the past. You've made things happen in the past. Think of all the things you wanted to do. You wanted your own apartment. You got your own apartment. Eventually, you had to work towards it. That kind of thing. Like you've accomplished stuff in the past. So you can always look to that and be like, yep, well, I did that. So that means I can do other things too, even if that wasn't a permanent situation. But so this Knight of Cups, this could be a love offering coming in, either for you or from you. It sits right over the Nine of Cups. So, which is about emotional fulfillment. But this is sort of, I feel like having a brave heart, having the courage. But you're looking back a little bit. This is like a little bit of a dichotomy here in this particular manifestation of the Knight of Cups. It's your spirit that's being brave, but your mind is looking back a little bit. Your mind is looking back maybe on what went on here and how nice that was to feel like you were in the flow. I mean, the sun really is the star card. Oh my God, we have the sun card too. That's so funny because all of this intuition is oh my God, I love this reading. All of this intuition is talking about, the moon is talking about the sun coming up. And I just want to give you a sneak peek of where we're going. We do get the sun, right? We do get that clarity. But right now we just have the seeds, and I don't know how long it gets for the sun to rise. I don't know where we're at in our nighttime here. Right now we just see the reflection of the sun, and maybe this is the sun, but it's distant. You have a distant dream, and it feels right and it feels good, and you've gotten a lot of encouragement to head towards that distant dream. Here's your Knight of Cups. And I'm only saying that because I have the sun card in here now. I'm seeing that the star card could be this beautiful growth sun card that you want, but it's looking far away. And just because we've already talked about the sun and all, yeah. Because of this particular reading, that star card could mean a distant dream where you've made some progress towards it and have felt very good about where you're at. But so this is being brave, being courageous in your feelings, in your heart, allowing your heart to move you forward. There could also be a love offering here, but that's just not how this deck feels with that card. But allowing your heart to be brave, allowing your heart to move you forward because your brain isn't quite figuring it out, isn't quite on it. I mean, because we're talking about intuition, right? Intuition, something sort of intuitive, dreaming about something. So let your dreams kind of gallop away. Your brain's going to do something else. But luckily your brain is riding on top of your heart, as should always be the case. If we're even anatomically, so the heart's going to be the driver here, and your heart is wanting to take some risks, wanting to be brave, or it's in a position where that's what's happening, or somebody's heart's being brave. I mean, the Knight of Cups could be a person. It could be a person external to you that's being very brave and open and sharing a part of their heart. What you are hoping for, dreaming for, or worried about, your inner landscape is this Eight of Wands. This is lots of passionate communication and movement. So you could be wanting to, you could be wanting to give, you could be wanting to receive, you could be fearing giving, you could be fearing receiving, passionate communication. With this Knight of Cups here, this could be thinking about, oh yeah, look, you're thinking about something. You're thinking about reaching out, maybe reaching out to somebody, because that's what this card is, and that's what both of these cards are. This is about dreaming about communication, and so is this. This is about dreaming. I mean, the situation, the placement of that Eight of Wands is hoping for communication, and this is you hoping for communication, but also holding back, not quite ready for it. But here we have not quite ready for it. Your heart wants to move forward. Your brain wants to. You're of two worlds here, and you're of two worlds here too. You've got this part of you holding back, and this other part of you that you're starting to put feelers out, dangling your hook for the fishies in the sea. You want to catch a fishy, but you're not quite sure what you're going to do with it, maybe. But your brain's back here, but your heart really wants to move forward. And I've got two cards about wanting to communicate, longing to communicate something, or to reach out for somebody, maybe somebody specific, or maybe just in general wanting to find your tribe and wanting to communicate. And this Eight of Wands here could also be your mind not wanting to communicate, but your heart wants to communicate. But you're just dreaming about it. There's messages here. You're longing for messages and you're fearing messages, which I think is a lot of, longing and fearing messages, withholding messages, not wanting to give messages, wanting to give messages, though. That you still want to give the messages. But you don't. But you don't. But you do. But you do. Your heart wants to. Your head doesn't. And this card is saying your heart needs to be the driver. So your inner landscape has like a lot it wants to communicate, a lot it wants to say, but you are definitely holding it inside. You're wanting to. You're dreaming about it. What would it be like to communicate this? What would it be like to say the things I want to say? What would it be like to find my soul tribe, the people I can really communicate with, the people that really get me, really understand me? But you're not there yet. What's at issue is this Four of Wands in reverse. So Four of Wands is typically going to be an engagement card. So there could have been a broken off engagement, a broken contract, something like that, actually. It might have been a very public situation, but yeah, a broken contract. This Four of Wands here would have been contractually leveling up this dream. You've got... Oh man, you've got Four Wands here. Hold on. Okay, I just wanted to look up, because I know it happens so rarely. I think it's only happened 3 times in my entire reading where I get 4 or more of one suit. So I wanted to look that up because I'm not going to remember that from every time I do that. So having this many wands is talking... I mean, we've already actually covered it, but I just wanted to let you know. Something new, a new creative project. Wands are creativity, a new creative project. I also want to say that we could be dealing with issues of sexuality here also, because the wands can be sexuality, but my sources are telling me that it's probably a new creative project here that you're thinking about and wanting some communication about. But so I just wanted to look that up because I knew there was something, but I knew also that I wasn't going to remember it. So we have the Four of Wands reversed here. And so that would be like a broken contract, and the upright, but that's what's also interesting is we have 4 wand cards. So it's almost like 11, 11, 11, 11. And it's like the Four of Wands just... So in the reverse, yeah, so contracts, leveling up publicly, engagement. So it could be a broken engagement, a broken contract, a broken agreement. You had leveled up publicly and then you unleveled publicly. It could also be not being able to bring your wares to market. So, which is a similar thing as far as like engagement in my mind, because she's got this shop she's set up, but she wasn't able to set up shop. So either she didn't have, like, her Ace of Wands didn't produce what she thought it was going to produce, and she ended up like, okay, market time, and I don't have anything because the shit I grew didn't grow. Or it could be, just not having, I ordered my stock here and now I can't, now I'm opening up an empty store because there's nothing there. Or I have all this stock, but my store contract fell through and I don't have any place to sell it right now. Like I have this backlog of stuff, but I don't have any way to move it. So there was something, it looks like there was some sort of dream that wasn't able to happen, that got broken somehow, or just something went wrong. Either there wasn't a way to bring it forward into the world, or there just wasn't anything. There was an opportunity, but there was nothing behind it, which is very sad, because, when those opportunities come and we're not prepared for them, it's a little bit of a tragedy, honestly, because it was just us not having enough faith in our dream that kept us from preparing ourselves for what we actually were hoping for, right? We were hoping for this opportunity comes here, open up shop here, and we're like, oh shit, I didn't grow anything this year. And that's on me. I didn't realize I was going to have this opportunity coming. And even though it's what I wanted, I didn't prepare for what I wanted to happen. So something's gone wrong in the leveling up. It's a glitched level up. There's been some sort of broken contract or failure to provide either the venue or the product that was expected for this. So like if you were supposed to have an engagement and you didn't have an engagement, is that because there's no like other person, bride or groom? Or were you like, I'm going to be engaged by a certain age, and then you get to that age and you're like, I am not engaged. There's nobody else here. Or is it because, you know, there was a breakup, that there was a bride and groom, but there's a breakup now, or that's what's going on here. That's what's at issue. It's some sort of half-baked or something that got halfway made and then broken. And then what you have here in your environment is a person. It's a Queen of Wands. This is somebody who's very inspiring, very magical, very mystical, possibly communicating intuitive ideas that we're already seeing. We're already very much in touch with our intuition here. Either you want this communication, but there is somebody communicating here. They're inspiring. They're going to guide you. They can be a guide for your intuition or for your creativity. There could be someone wanting to collaborate with you. Like, okay, you weren't able to get this off the ground. Okay, that sucks. But this could be someone coming in to help guide you towards the next step. It's right underneath the Star card. So I feel like, you know, this inspired, charismatic person, a male or female, is sort of, you know, I'm getting a left the light on, a guide vibe here, right? Left the light on. And the star too is your cheerleader. So you have this cheerleader and you have this inspiring guide. So this is basically another cheerleader. This is like a spiritual, creative cheerleader, male or female, that is here to help you, to guide you to your next steps. So if there's someone in your life that's showing up like that, and I think it could be somebody that you find like on YouTube or social media that has a lot of really cool stuff to say. And remember, we're curating our feeds so that when we leave social media, we feel better about our lives and better about, because you can use it any way you want, right? You can use it to get angry. You can have a social media feed that gets angry. I have one under a different name where it's like, if I want to get pissed off about things, that's where I go. And then the rest of them are like, okay, if I don't feel good after this, for the most part, you know, then because it's for my benefits, for your benefit. So it could be someone from social media that you're finding that you want to follow, that you want to watch their videos, very inspiring to you, and they can be a guide of where you want to go, or it could be someone in real life, right? But just with this observer card and you watching something, it could be you watching something that you find inspiring, that's going to be a guide to you, that's going to lead you where you want to go. It's going to help you keep growing until the sun comes up, right? Until there's more clarity here. 9 of Cups is where your to-do list is. This is being proud of what you've accomplished, being proud of, and enjoying the measure of happiness and success that you have had, because you have had some. So your job is to, as we see in the star card in your past, your job is to be grateful for that, enjoy that, love what you already have accomplished, because this is a lot. This 9 of Cups is a lot. Look at this treasure full of love and care, and you're heading home here with this treasure. You're the local boy done good, heads home with his treasure kind of thing. Like, but you're really, be proud of how far you've come. I'm getting that message for a couple people this week, is be proud of how far you've come. You've come a long ways. You've come longer than you think. You've been very brave. You've been very courageous with your heart. The star card has been cheering you on. You're exactly where you need to be. This Knight of Cups is that you have been very brave. You have been very courageous. This Queen of Wands is here to guide you further. Yeah, okay, something didn't work out, but being grateful and being happy for what measure of health and wealth and happiness you do have. You don't have the 10, but you've got the 9. And 9 is something to be very proud of and very happy with, and enjoying what you do have and being proud of what you do have and what you have accomplished, because you have accomplished something, right? We were talking about looking back here at you did manifest something, and being proud of what you did manifest. Did you get the whole thing? No, there was some sort of broken issue here, but you know where you're going? To the Sun card. This moon here is this intuitive new beginning, this dreaming, this daydreaming you're doing. It goes somewhere. It goes somewhere. The sun is coming up. The sun's going to be, we're going to be rotating towards the sun. The seasons are going to change. The world's going to change yet again. And you're going to be in a really beautiful position. If you maintain your stock, grow your garden, all of that, we're going to have a big rotation coming in, and you're going to be shining, and your dream's going to be closer. There's going to be a lot of growth, a lot of clarity. You may even get the holy grail of understanding why you had to go through what you went through. Oh, I love that. All right, Cancer. So this was a long reading. For those of you still here, thanks for sticking with it. I really do appreciate your likes, subscribes, and comments. If you haven't subscribed already, now would be a great time to do it. I hope you have a wonderful week.